Welcome back to Just Us Girls. It is Paige, Katie, and Sam.
Quick housekeeping. Today we have our first guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Did we tell you that you were our first guest ever?
No. What?
I know.
And the podcast is called Just Us Girls.
Yeah,
So this is
welcome
a
to the
departure.
couch with
Well, I
the
saw on the
girlies.
Instagram it said if you're not a girl, keep scrolling. I was like, wait, am I in the wrong place?
Yeah, we actually
But I guess you need to know a little bit more about the opposite sex.
We do. We do.
we refer to ourselves as the Jugs, Just Us Girls. So you
Okay.
get to be a Jug today.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're a
one of
jug,
us.
an honorary jug.
What an honor.
So I'm going to do a quick intro for you, Shep. I'd like to do intros in the room because gas you up like you're an important person to us, to the Bravo
Okay.
sphere.
Okay.
Okay, ladies, buckle up. Our guest today is bona fide Bravo legend, one of the original cast members of Southern Charm, still going strong 11 seasons later, the kind of legend they should really put on Charleston's welcome sign. He's charming, he's chaotic, he's a two-time author, and lately he's the guy actually doing the work, digging into vulnerability and growth in his new memoir, Nothing in Moderation. The charm, the chaos, and the heart. Please welcome the one and only Shep Rose.
Ah,
Welcome.
write
Yeah.
that yourself.
I actually, it was mostly
Or was that
me.
Chat GPT?
I know I do that with the grammar after I write it because I'm not good with
I'm
grammar.
terrible with grammar.
We
so
can't
bad.
say or spell words.
And I'm a terrible editor, but I'm a good. I write when I write. it spills out of me.
Yeah.
And I definitely need an editor.
Somebody to come in
Yeah.
and clean it up.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, my mom. Well, a couple things. My mom got a fourth grade report card. Said Shep thinks he can get through fourth grade on charm alone. He doesn't have that much. And then other teachers were like, lots of good ideas here, totally unorganized. But thank God to the editor.
Yeah.
Well, I think so.
Lindsay Clark, hi.
Hi, Lindsay.
Shout out to Lindsay Clark. I'm going to be honest. I think if this was 2 or 3 years ago, we would probably not have you on this podcast because I feel like in the last few years, it was really interesting reading your book because you could notice the transformation on TV, like the change in your demeanor, your vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I think it was so cool. We enjoyed reading the book to kind of get the behind the scenes experience of that.
Yeah. I've definitely evolved. Thank God. It's been 12 years since we started filming. And I definitely have a different approach to certain situations in life, no doubt.
Yeah.
So I think, do you feel different? Like still after, has it been 2 years since your ayahuasca?
Yeah, it's been a while. There's moments where I revert back and I'm hard on myself and I also try to forgive myself at the same time. But I think the number one thing is just being empathy, showing empathy, giving empathy, grace, as they say. That was a big part of my experience down in Costa Rica. I was very taken aback and inspired and also felt a lot of pain and trauma from those around me and got to thinking how good I've got it.
Yeah.
And how-
Really quick before we get into combo, can you just give like a quick summary of your books to those who haven't read it yet? And we'll
Which
read
you know
it
is
to you?
probably really hard to do.
No, boy meets girl, no, just kidding. Boy meets shaman.
Yeah.
No,
Multiple shaman.
Yeah.
right, male and female. Anyhow, yeah, I was in a bad sort of way in 3 years ago and was just a mess, and I felt like I was a little out of control, to say the least, and I needed something to happen, I felt like, and I considered all options and talked to a lot of people, and this was one of them was ayahuasca. I had a friend especially who said it would be a really good idea because she had done it down in Costa Rica. And she had a vision of me, and she was like, "I just think you should get into it." So I talked to another guy who was a Navy SEAL. He and his wife had gone to this place called Rhythmia. It's down in Costa Rica. It's ayahuasca retreat. It's 7 nights. You only do it 4 nights, so it's a lot of kumbaya and breathing and yoga, and they get you in the mood. And yeah, and so he and his wife went, the Navy SEAL, and they had a very, very transformative experience themselves. He had PTSD to sort through, and she wanted to know more about that. Anyway, it's amazing because again, this is supposed to be a summary. I apologize, but
Take all the time you want.
I was there. I was in the bus on the way to the thing, and these two Southern girls, I heard their accent from a mile away, and they were from Dothan, Alabama, and they were there. I mean, it's so unlikely of people to there. There was like older women there, and men, a real spectrum of interesting people, and everyone trying to find some sort of peace or answers or both.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about the title? You talked a lot about titles at the beginning,
Yeah.
and I was telling them, my husband and I always joke, he has ADHD, and he says, I don't do moderation. And I'm like, dude, it's just, you don't have to drink 10 beers. You can have 2, you know, you can have like 1 piece of cake, not 4. And he's like, my whole life, like moderation isn't something that I know. It's like all or nothing. And you talked a little bit about ADHD, but it was just, and he has ADHD. And I was telling him he has to read
And
the
we do
book.
as well.
And they do
That's
too.
some neurodivergence
I'm the
here
only one
with
sitting
you.
here without it, I guess. But
That diagram is overlapping.
but I thought that title was really interesting because I feel like it's something people really relate to. Like, I know you tossed around a few things. Like, how do you feel now about that title?
Well, I always wanted to call it "Why Must I Always Lick the Jar?"
Yeah, I know. I love that.
Yeah, you reference that a lot. And the Cookie Monster
Cookie
mode.
Monster,
I love
yeah.
that.
But yeah, I think I got talked out of the jar one. They're like it's sort of semi-salacious. I was like, perfect for
It'll sell
selling
books.
books,
Yeah.
but it's also a little long-winded too. So yeah, it's several titles. I was cool with this one. I mean, my first book was called Average Expectations, which is a play on Great Expectations by Dickens. So yeah, I like to have titles are good. A good one sticks with you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're a big reader, right?
Gigantic, yeah.
What
Voracious.
what are you reading right
Yeah,
now?
what are you reading?
Theo of Golden.
Oh, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard great things.
My mom and actually my ex-girlfriend Taylor's mom gave it to me, and she was in town, and we went out to dinner. I think I posted about it on Instagram, and I got like
A lot of buzz.
no, I was like, what? They're like, why would you do that? I was like, because they're really good people, and they care about me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You mentioned that in the book about how
Oh yeah,
Taylor's
exactly.
brother,
And they're
right?
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I would do anything for them. So anyway, they always give me a book. She does, her mom, and Leslie. And so then I brought it home, and I was like, Mom, I got this book. And she was like, oh my God, my book club is obsessed with that book. And blah, blah, blah. And we've gotten in touch with the author. We're trying to get him. And so I was like, okay, I got to read this book. So that's what I'm reading at the moment.
Shep,
is
you
on my
should start a book club,
I know.
like an online book club.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to do a podcast
You're
way back before podcasts were so ubiquitous, with Cameron from our show.
Oh, the
We
best.
would have killed it. And I still get pissed at her. I'm like, do you know what we missed out on?
I have
out.
to say, I respect that she took a step back because I
Yeah.
can only imagine, but we miss her.
I know, I do too. I mean,
Is it too
the
late?
stuff that she said, no, we talked, she's like got a different life. And,
She's
but,
such
Yeah.
a fun life, yeah.
but the stuff that, I mean, I would never tell her story, but like the stuff she said thanks, but no thanks to y'all is like,
crazy.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Just give it a chance.
She's so like
She was
morally
America's sweetheart.
I
She was
love
Kelly
her.
Ripa part
She-
2.
Especially in the early seasons, I feel
Yeah.
like she was the moral compass of the show. It's like if Cam thought what you were doing was not okay, it was not
okay.
way bad. Like,
She was the queen.
But that's also how I think sometimes people stick with or leave a show. It's like, oh, Cam's gone. So like, I go with Cam.
Well,
you know?
that was a fear for sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure for the executives and the other people in charge. But and then T-Rav leaving was like a vacuum that nobody wanted to fill that void. You know talk about chaos. Yeah. Everybody looked around like, I'm not going to be that crazy one, or that volatile one, I guess.
especially nowadays. I feel
And
like
then
it's
we take turns basically at this point. Not on purpose, just the way the cookie crumbles, you know.
yeah. I feel like Madison got to step up though and be more.
Oh
like
my gosh. Yeah,
a
she
queen presence because
she definitely stirred the pot. Yes. For many years. But it's funny, I tell her we become friends and we laugh a lot together. And I was like, Madison, you don't have much to be angry about anymore. Like, things kind of worked out for you.
I know.
And she kind of nodded. She's like, yeah, they kind of did. So
Yeah.
well,
Well, if
she could still be a Spitfire though. And
yeah.
she
Well,
and
Cam,
she-
if you see this clip, please start a book club with Shep.
Oh
that
my
would be.
gosh.
I feel like all of us would love that.
that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's take it back a little. I think it's like we know so much about Shep now. Like, can you talk more about your childhood, your parents? Like,
Yeah.
what do your parents think about what you do now and your role?
Yeah, right. They're so supportive and they love having me around. There's never a dull moment as far as me sharing my life and stories. And I remember once when not my first love, my second love. My first love was Kelly. My second one was Molly. Molly, I was like 23, right out of college, Charleston, actually. And that's where my Instagram handle came. Relationship is what they call me, because I wasn't the crazy son of a bitch like I usually was. I was way more toned down.
Yeah.
I was in love, you know? And so my dad would call my friends after a weekend and be like, "What did you do over the weekend?
Funny.
Like, Shep's not delivering."
Yeah.
So pretty funny. But they're great. And you know what's most rewarding is when I hear someone, friend or family friend, be like, your dad was bragging about you a lot. And you're like, good. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because I feel like some parents probably would shy away and not, I don't know. I feel like it's so great. They're so supportive.
Well, yeah. I mean, they live in their little bubble, and I have stories from here, there, and everywhere, and Watch What Happens Live, and celebrity encounters. Like, they're just like, wow.
I know. If it was my son, I'd be like, go to everything. Tell me all the tea you find out.
That's right.
Yeah, that's so fun.
But they don't. I know for a fact, like, I'll tell them, I'm like, watch an episode tonight. Like, I think you'll like it. But they're not avid watchers. I wonder if many of my friends, I think that it's just like any other TV show. Like, okay, we get it. Good job. Like, continue, but like, we're not involved.
Yeah. So you mentioned your first 2 relationships. Would love. So you at first, like in high school, were you like a relationship guy?
No. I was a very late bloomer. In romance world. I was
friends with all the girls in high school.
I was an athlete. I'm talking about middle school now, and like when we were supposed to just, when things were starting to bubble up inside of us. Yeah. And I remember I was just like not interested. I remember this really beautiful girl was like, "Come to the dance with me." I was like, "Oh my God, no,
bros."
I was like, "What am I supposed to do there? I have to dance with you?" Anyway, and I just wanted to play sports, but I think it was the 8th grade. Remember, there was like an 8th grade, like a rec area for like the upperclassmen, and there was a moment where I was like wrestling around and I was like, I'm obsessed. Maybe had like a couple things going on with the hands and feet.
There were chugs flying.
They were doing it back. It was consensual wrestling. Yeah.
We laugh about that all the time. I feel like we laugh about like middle school
grinding.
dances.
Do you remember like grinding in a cafeteria or like a gymnasium?
There was a dance club in the 4th grade called Coconuts. And like in Hilton Head Island, our parents would drop us off there, and they would play like terrible 80s dance music. But I won a dance contest at Coconuts. Don't ask me how. And that's Coconuts. I also pierced my ear with my friends.
You were trying things.
Yeah, I would have done any.
That's a rite of passage, the ear piercing.
Yeah.
There was always a boy who was willing to do it.
Yeah. I like bled, and everybody's like, what an animal.
Okay, so you had your first girlfriend in high school or college?
Essentially, yes. Well, my first girlfriend, I was in 9th grade, maybe. Shout out to Roxanne. And it was actually 7th grade. It was pretty PG. My first kiss, I guess you could say.
Oh.
Yeah.
But my other friends were like moving quicker in that arena than I was. I was like, I'd rather go surfing or play basketball still. Then when I was a senior, or when I was at boarding school, I remember liking a girl that was a year older than me, that was a very good athlete, and she was totally out of my league. Remember how much a year seemed like back then?
Yeah.
It could have been
Upper class.
a decade. So that didn't work. And then, there was another girl. that I really
Think of it.
no, but I really liked. And I used to call her on the rotary phone, not really, but landline, and I would write down certain things to talk to her about. And it was disastrous. So I was not smooth for a long, long time.
I don't know that any of them really.
I don't think.
But then when I was a senior, I dated a sophomore, Kelly, and that was my big
That was your
first
love.
romance.
Yeah. And then after that, you became,
I don't know. Yeah.
learned the charm, huh?
Feel like a duck to water.
And here we are.
Relationship.
Yeah,
Relationship.
I know. So are we allowed to ask about current relationship status?
Sure.
Are you dating anybody?
No,
now?
I'm not. I'm very much in that like ready, you can't hurry love.
Yeah. But your taxi light is on. You're like, if I met somebody guy.
And I develop crushes quite easily, and for a lot of the times they're impossible situations, which somehow like makes me even more resolute, which is just so dumb and such like human nature. It's stupid. So I'm holding out hope in certain situations, but it's not looking good. So.
Yeah, I feel like everywhere a buzz want you and Taylor to reconcile.
Oh yeah, of course we can't talk about that. But I
think Instagramming with her mom doesn't help the situation.
It's fine. Yeah. I care deeply about that family. And, I guess you'll have to wait and see on that.
Well, I think it's also one of those things where 2 years ago I'd be like, Taylor, no, don't get back with Shep. But now I'm part of the hope train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see. Won't push too much on that. Let's dive into friendships and what we've seen, where you are now. I feel like it was so interesting. We were talking about in the book, I remember watching the Southern Charm reunion after BravoCon and how like Craig and Austin iced you out after the weekend and what had happened. Is it so complicated, like being friends for so long, but being on a TV show? Like, do you feel like there are like boundaries to the relationship or almost like rules of war where you're like, we would talk about this off camera, but not on camera?
Yeah, there used to be, and still to a certain degree, there's a construct of like, don't cross that line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And basically the line is like, if our family's watching, if you like bring up something so derogatory that it would like don't bring him or her around. Not that I'm like having big parties at my parents' house with the whole cast, but there's an unwritten rule, and it has been crossed.
Are there times where it has been crossed?
Yeah, and it's disappointing, but then you have to just take the big picture. Like, look, we're on a TV show, it's okay. That might be incendiary and feel like it's the weight of the world's on your shoulders. And I still get that feeling sometimes, but in actuality, it's not a very big sample size of human beings that give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and, so don't worry about it too much.
Yeah. How many seasons did it take you to get used to like being on TV all the time, and when fights would happen, having to relive them? Like, do you still ever get like anxiety?
More than ever.
Yeah.
More than ever right now. More than ever right now. And even if I'm in the right and I like kind of like, hey, this is bullshit and here's why. I'm like, oh God.
Having to relive
now I have to like ruminate in this, and other people are weighing in, and there might be saying, oh, well, that's all good and well that he said that, but what about this? And it's a lot. And I think that's part of my mindset these days is just like, oh gosh, it's just a little bit of angst.
Do you feel like social media is different from when you started though? Because I feel like now it is like incessant. It's constantly comments and DMs and
it's even worse.
Threads and
and now like
for a viral
you can sell information like even if it's like completely out of context to like all too willing people. And I don't read the blogs. I don't look, but almost all of my cast mates do.
We talk about that.
You can't
Stay off
look.
Reddit.
Stay off Reddit.
They act like
Stay
they
off Reddit.
don't. I'm like, you
can tell by the way some of them act that they definitely do read and try to course correct their image by just saying comments and not reading. That's a very obvious.
Yep. And it's basically feeding a monster that's not a good one, you know. And Yeah. So I don't do it. If I have friends that send me something, even if it's like minuscule, I'm like, if you're my friend, you won't send that to me.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
We're all content creators, and
Yeah.
obviously not to the scale that you have people reaching out, but it's that same thing. Like if you have a friend that sends you a negative article
Yeah.
or something, it's
Yeah.
like, I don't need to see that.
No.
If it makes you feel any better, I have never watched Southern Charm, and my exposure to you is your book.
Her
Oh,
only exposure
so
is your book.
That's cool. You have
Yeah.
an interesting point of view.
Yeah.
She had so many notes.
I was on an airplane, like excessively taking notes.
Wow.
So,
Mhm.
but I think like
How
you
long
said
was your
that.
flight? How long did it?
I
how long?
got through chapter 6 on the flight. I listened at 1.2
Oh,
X speed.
good.
But I think, like you said, with that small sample size of people,
How did
like
I sound?
Great.
great.
Really?
Yeah.
And your
My
little,
voice kind of drives me crazy.
We all feel
that's
that way.
content creation.
Oh my gosh,
right?
our first
Being on
podcast
TV.
episode that came out, my husband was listening to another room and I was like, turn that shit down.
Yeah.
Turn
Like,
it
I
off.
cannot listen
No.
to it.
You know what I
It's
can't
horrible.
listen to is the theme song from Southern Charm.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure.
Exactly.
You're going to
Someone
need to
shoot
do
me.
ayahuasca to get that out of your brain when you're all
Play it during a ceremony and see if
Oh god.
Mother Aya can
Yeah.
hold that.
I'm looking forward to your question.
So many.
So what do your other friends like think? Like, do you have I'm sure you have a core group of friends from like growing up that when you get around, are you like, all right, these are my people. I can relax. Like I can check everything at the door.
100%.
Yeah. And is that like your lifeline?
Yeah, we're called the Close Buddies One. That's our
Oh,
town.
that's cute.
And there's like 12 of us. But then there's more. There's different pockets of friends all over the world, really.
Mhm.
And I love being around them, and they give me a hard time in all the
Mm.
right ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's beautiful.
We talk about that a lot because we're all really good friends, and on our podcast, like we poke fun at each other a lot and roast each other because it's like I don't know. That's
We're
just
all
who
from
we
the
are.
Northeast originally too. So it's
Yeah,
like, that's
so we have
part of
that,
it.
and like sometimes people message us and be like, "You guys are kind of mean to each other," and we're like, "That's because we're good friends.
Exactly what friends should do.
That's how you know you're a
Exactly.
good friend.
Correct.
We keep
Yeah.
each other in check." And
I mean, I had to say that on Southern Charm. At least, again, this is more listening to comments like, you're so mean. I was like, if I'm nice to you, I don't give a damn about you.
Yeah.
exactly,
Like that, if I'm like very polite,
Or
are
if I
you
poke
okay?
the bear and
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
sensitive, it's like this
Yeah.
ain't gonna work.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
yeah, we
This
totally.
ain't gonna work. You got your Florida coming up.
Florida coming out.
Oh yikes!
Florida woman.
Oh, no, don't call me that.
Well, speaking of actually, so one of the things that we really enjoy about you is how, and you reference it in your book, speaking politically and your viewpoints, because I think your political views are so counterculture to what you would think of like
Yeah.
this white Southern man.
Yeah.
And it's so refreshing, I think, to see that take and see you speaking out. Are you surrounded by people who have similar views, or is it like kind of, I
No.
don't know, in Charleston, do they not talk about
Charleston
politics?
is an educated town,
Yeah.
and they call balls and strikes on human beings.
Yeah.
Mm.
Unfortunately, there's in the middle-ish of the state, there's people with just deep prejudices and be it against women,
Mm-hmm.
be it against people of color.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, and it's as sad as that sounds in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
You know who tapped into
Yeah.
a
Yep.
great unrest and anger about certain people's lot in life,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
who felt like they were owed something
Mhm.
because of the color of their skin
Yeah.
or whatnot. And it's just so amazing to me. Like, you know, the people that are doing the jobs that they won't do love it here. They love America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, they're immigrants,
Mhm.
but I mean, you get rid of them, this economy collapses
Yeah,
on
100%.
top of itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even the undocumented ones, like collapses,
Yeah.
completely collapses. So if you want to say that, you want to go down that road, I invite you to try that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about speaking out? Because I feel like a lot of people in the Bravo sphere like do not touch politics. A lot of people in general who are public don't touch politics.
I used to on Twitter a lot, and then I got off Twitter. I was in Copenhagen, and I was by myself, and it was beautiful. What a great city. And I was on Twitter and just getting agitated about Trump and shit. And I was sending mad messages to my dad, who, by the way, is the head of the GOP, or was, and you know, he was in the Reagan administration.
Wow.
So he's old school. I mean, he's not, he understands, you know, the situation. He's no like cheerleader for
yeah.
the wrong, but you know, I don't know. So, he was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What the hell are you doing? You're in Copenhagen, like trip of a lifetime." And I got off Twitter that day.
Yeah.
We talked about
We
that.
laughed about that.
When I heard you say that, I was like, I haven't been on Twitter in 12 years.
Yeah.
And anytime I even peek at it, I'm like, oh no, I
Yeah.
can't be
Can't
here.
go back.
Yeah.
So
It's
dangerous
a scary
here.
place.
Yep.
Yeah, it's scary.
And so I really have checked out, girls, sorry.
The jugs,
Jugs.
as we like to call it.
Jugs. And I've just it's like shouting into the wind basically.
Yeah.
And you're never gonna win anyone over. I think I heard Seth Rogen say that he was pretty active in his displeasure or activism, if you want to call that. And he was just like, you can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win. And if you want to like engage with these trolls and like trolls in positions of power too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Elon, you're just like, I mean, for as brilliant and successful as he is, can you imagine actively alienating half of the population and selling cars?
No.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, are probably your biggest buyers.
Oh, I had a Tesla and I sold it.
That is
Yeah.
if I'm on the board, I am like tackling him. No.
Yeah, I think they were. I think that's why he disappeared,
Yeah.
because they were.
And now he's tripled down.
I made a huge series about it, and it
Selling
went like
her
super
Tesla.
viral on TikTok. Yeah, selling my Tesla.
Yeah.
And that was an insane situation.
So I don't know what to do. I just know I hate to be head buried in the sand, but we've got 3 more years. What
Yeah.
the hell are we gonna do? You know,
Being in Florida, I'm similar to you, where I'm surrounded by people that think very differently than me.
Yeah.
And so, you have to save your mental energy. Where if you're
where in Florida?
I'm out in Ponte Vedra Beach, like
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Northeast area. So
North.
4 hours
I know
south.
it.
The more north you go, the more south it is,
I
they
know.
say.
I know.
Interesting.
In Florida.
Yeah.
I don't spend much time there.
I know.
I don't go
Well,
there.
it's crazy because I've spent a lot of time in Palm Beach, and he was a clown.
Literally.
in Palm Beach, like
Scene of the crime.
he couldn't get in to the Everglades Club, the Bath and Tennis Club. These are all my friends, are all members of the Sailfish Club. They wouldn't touch him with a 20-foot pole, and then so he did Mar-a-Lago, and now everybody's like, our taxes are lower. Come on in.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's so superficial.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
That's how it was in Jersey too. Like in Atlantic City, nobody wanted to be around him because he corrupted them all and bankrupted everybody.
Yeah, now he's like, I'll get you rich people even richer. How about that?
Yeah.
They're like,
They love
okay,
it.
come
Well,
on.
I would love to hearing that your dad so involved in the GOP. How did you were you Republican growing up, and then were there experiences
That's
that
a good
changed your
question.
perspective?
My grandfather was a Democrat and was appointed a federal judge by Jimmy Carter. Of course, Democrat, and he's from Selma, Alabama. It was different, but it wasn't, because I know that I would listen to them speak. I was on the floor as a 12-year-old at Thanksgiving and listened to my dad, and it was respectful and it was interesting, and I just was soaking it all in, and I sided with my dad at the time and for many years. And then I just started to think about the social stuff that when it got far right and when it got anti-gay and this stuff, I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then I remember my grandfather said, how much does one man need? Meaning, like, once you get to enough money or whatever, then it's like help. Then it's time to give back. And if you love this country, how about you help people who really need help?
Yeah.
And of course, here's the pushback you'll hear is, oh, well, you don't give money to the government. They're like the biggest wasteful spender. Okay, fine. How about start an initiative somehow your own? I don't know, but there's a way to do it, or at least a way to talk about it and think about it that doesn't make you a socialist, for Christ's sake. Actually makes you an empathetic, good human. Like, how about that?
But I
Caring
think,
How about that as a goal? Yeah.
I think you talked about it well in the book, though, in a way that was very relatable. And like just listening to it as a person who's, by the way, I've never done any drugs. So listening to your book was a real trip
I've
for
done
me.
enough for both.
It was a real trip for me. But that chapter, I was listening and I was like, oh, this is really interesting, your perspective on it. And I think it was something that most people probably agree with to some extent. And so I'm glad that you did touch on it, because I think it was
Good.
well done.
We were proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
and
you're
to
not
ma-
burying your head in the sand.
And
I
to
think.
also make you feel better about speaking out, we won't get details, but another cast member from Southern Charm wanted to be on this podcast, and we actually said no because we didn't want to platform the cast members' views and treatments. And we were like, Shep would be so interesting because we actually, like, your transformation, the way you speak out is somebody we want to platform, and we really appreciate you speaking about vulnerability
thank
and
you.
change. Because
Yeah.
I think, especially, talking about like the male loneliness epidemic and the incel culture, it's like seeing a privileged white man use his privilege for good is very
Well,
refreshing.
let's hope
Yeah.
so. I don't know how much of an indentation I'm going to make, but
Yeah.
try.
Well, it
Better
doesn't
than
mean you're
nothing.
not allowed to make mistakes or things like that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I make them.
Don't we all, though?
But I just want to make sure my heart's in the right place,
Yeah.
know, and at least I can live with myself.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, let's switch it up maybe to some fun topics. We started talking about drugs. That's
Oh, yeah. So wait. So like,
Fun topic.
this is a common theme on this podcast is we make fun of Paige because she has never even been offered drugs.
Can we also like stop for 1 second and say like we've done drugs, like we've smoked weed?
And I've done Molly a few times. Like,
Oh, okay.
house
Yeah.
concerts.
Okay.
house, Avicii.
Yeah.
I can't talk about my biggest regret right now.
Well, no, you said something in the book, and I actually had to stop the book because we've talked about this so many times. I've never done drugs. I've also never been offered drugs outside of weed, like
Wow.
never. And my friend is like, "Oh yeah, there was
Womp womp.
cocaine over here, and I was like, "What do you mean?"
Have you never even sensed that it was in the
So
equation?
when you said the thing in the restaurant where you're like 50% of these people have it or they're looking for it, I was
Yeah.
like,
She texted the group chat and was freaking
I was
out.
like, no. When
I think it's a higher percentage.
I think it's true. She
Yeah.
was like, no way that many people have
I
coke.
think when I
So
go,
I said in the book, just so they
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
I said, I submit to you that in mostly college towns or a bigger city,
Totally.
anybody in the bar, at a crowded bar, either half of them have drugs or are looking, or the guy's on the way, or there's a call out. to the
yeah,
guy.
you said that, and I was like, I would walk into that same exact restaurant and be like, not one person in
Yeah.
here has
You're like,
cocaine.
everybody here's so wholesome in here.
They are just enjoying their nice glass of white, and that's it.
I mean,
Yeah. Crisp glass.
yeah, I'm
How
here to
can I
you you're
tell?
wrong.
Like, just so I have my radar. Like, what is the radar? How do I know this is happening around me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people have it written all over their face.
She just doesn't,
She doesn't know what that means.
The beady eyes and the sweat.
Just like
Or the fast conversation.
Yeah, like you,
Snappy, ready to
you
go.
you can't get a word in. You're like, all right. I mean, I've been that guy. I've been that guy many times. I talk too much anyway, so that's the last thing I fucking need.
Yeah,
Am I
no,
allowed
that
to
stops
cuss?
me in my
Oh, yeah.
tracks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Scam cusses too much. It's an issue with
Yeah,
editing.
it's like an issue for our brand. Still working
We're
on
gonna
that.
get banned on Instagram and can't monetize because of her. Yeah, swear too often. So, what was the first drug you ever did?
Weed.
How old were you?
The gateway drug.
Yeah, they say.
As Dare told us.
That's what they say.
I remember my friend who went to public school. We went to Hilton Head Prep. They went to Hilton Head Prep. And I don't know why he bounced back and forth, whatever. And he came over to the house. We were in 7th grade. He goes, I got a dime bag of weed. We were like, oh, weed. Oh, first. In like 6th grade, we would smoke bamboo. We had like my friend had bamboo.
The
We would
plants?
crush up the leaves and somehow make
Does
like
that
a
do something?
no. It does absolutely nothing.
Put
We
smoke
didn't
in
know
your
what we were
body.
doing. We were bored.
Crazy.
Yeah. So we wanted to like change
This is
our.
why I can't leave my
our
son home
minds
alone.
somehow.
I'll never leave my son home alone with his friends.
So it was like dirt weed and
Dirt weed.
yeah, swag is what they call it. It has like seeds in
It
it,
has a
and all this
street
shit. It's
name?
nasty.
Yeah.
Street name.
And this is before like weed became a cottage industry, and now is like
yeah.
you order the kind that makes
know.
you
The fancy drink online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so yeah, I started doing that, and then my friends would start rolling blunts, and we were listening. I remember I after I got kicked out of boarding school, I went to Hilton Head High, the public school, and for like half a semester, and the drug dealer gave me a ride to school every morning, and he'd roll a blunt.
Gosh.
He'd roll a blunt on the way to school and put on Wu-Tang Clan.
Nice.
And we would just get blazed, and I'd walk into the first period like, only 7 more hours to go. Like, what am I thinking
Wait, can
about?
we ask why you got kicked out of boarding school?
Huh?
Can we ask why you got kicked out of boarding school?
Yeah. A lot of small infractions,
Ah.
essentially. And finally, it was a fake ID. That,
Oh.
Really?
yeah. But
Everyone has
they were like, this is the last straw.
Yeah.
I had like a fence. Man, they were tough. Like
You were at Episcopal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were, at least at the time, I don't know what's going on. Actually, my oldest niece is there, but she's well behaved.
Yeah.
But I mean, you tell me, you put together a bunch of 15, 16, and 17-year-old kids.
With access.
Who've never really been told no before
Yeah.
most of the time. And you put them together and their hormones and
my
everybody's trying to
gosh.
impress each other. And then you're like, don't do anything.
Don't
Yeah.
do
Like,
drugs.
are you crazy?
No, my sister went to boarding school. We're twins. She went to boarding school. I stayed at public school, and she saw some shit. I'm like, what do you, again,
Yeah.
what do you mean there's drugs in your dorm? I'm
Yeah.
like, what's happening at your
Meanwhile,
school?
Paige wore a Dare t-shirt with
No, I didn't.
smoking cigarettes. What was smoking cigarettes again?
Two penguins.
Two penguins. Like, don't smoke.
Yeah, well, it's bad for you. So
Well, yeah. And meanwhile, you know, all this control is forced upon you. Like you had to sign out to go, you know,
Right.
go get a sandwich. And you're just like, what? And meanwhile, your friends are at home. They just got a brand new car, their license. They've got a girlfriend. They got a beer party they're going to later. Nobody's the wiser. They're having a time of their lives.
I would say they're in a field
And
somewhere.
You like sneak a beer one time, and you're like, whoa, and yeah. So I guess I made up for it much later.
Did you want to go to boarding school?
I didn't.
Yeah.
My sister was there, my older sister, and she's a very good student, and it's a really good school. I'll
Yeah,
say that.
it is.
And I owe a lot of my whatever intellectual curiosity and we were reading esoteric Shakespeare plays and Tom Stoppard and all this cool stuff. And so at least my English was greatly improved, at least knowledge of the King's English and literature. Yeah.
I feel like you have such an old soul in you.
Oh God.
Like, do you feel that
I feel like I'm 14.
mixture? I don't know. It's like I feel like you've lived
Well, I'm
1,000
getting old.
lives.
I've lived a bunch of lives.
Yeah, like good for you. Okay, so anyways, so you get to Costa Rica. Why did you choose Costa Rica?
I sort of did a little research, and this place Rhythmia is pretty much like the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
And they're accredited like as much as you can be for. I mean, it's illegal in the U.S., but there are ceremonies. Like you just got to kind of know somebody, whether it be in L.A. or there's actually they came to Charleston. I wasn't able to participate, but yeah. So it's around and it's helping people, and this one I was told is a very good starting point jumping on.
Okay. How often are you supposed to do it? Like because I think you mentioned in the book that people had gone back multiple times. Like you met somebody who was back for their second time.
Fifth time.
But
Fifth time. How often are you supposed to do it? Or like, can you do it?
Okay. So like Kelly Slater, for example, is on the board there. I ran into him. He's like a hero of mine. And he was like, I go once a year, maybe once every 2 years, just to sort of get back in the groove and start thinking about things and holding up a mirror and are you improving and stuff like that. I desperately want to go back. In fact, I'm planning on it tentatively here in the early winter.
Oh.
Are you like scared at all of it or no?
I was. We were all
before doing
a
it.
healthy amount of scared and nervous and excited.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
that's okay.
That's okay.
You sort of are put at ease because they do 45 weeks a year with a group, and they've been doing that for 7 years. So it's almost like if you were going skydiving and the person you were tandem with is like, this is my 5,000th jump, you'd be like, okay, then
They do
it's
with their
probably
eyes
fine. It's still scary.
Yeah.
And you still can't wait for your feet to hit the ground. But yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you planning on going back? Like in a year?
No, a little less than that. Sometime
you.
this fall, maybe.
Yeah. I love that. I'm happy not happy you chose Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a very special place to me.
Oh, yeah?
My mom passed away from cancer and her ashes are spread there.
Oh.
It was like a big place our
Where?
family went to. In the Guanacaste Peninsula.
Yeah.
Like
That's
so when
where
you're
this
talking
place is.
Yeah, when you're talking about Tamarindo and everything, we
Yeah.
go there, or
Yeah.
we went there all the time as a family.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we just like did a trip to spread her ashes. It's such a magical
How old
place.
were you when you were going there?
I started going there when I was 8. We actually had a family house on the
Sweet. That was
it was nothing. So my mom
Yeah.
bought a plot of land that was literally, it was like a dirt plot, basically no roads to get there. And then it was so cheap because my mom was a travel agent. She's a social worker, a part-time travel agent. And she had heard about Costa Rica. So bought this plot of land. A year later, the Four Seasons bought land 5 miles away. So they paved everything. They built up everything. And it just was like perfect timing.
All the amenities.
Yeah, but like our family, so we used to go there every year as a family, and it's just like
how many? What, you just had a big house with a big yard kind of thing.
yeah, we were like on a mountain, like overlooking the water.
Oh, you can see the ocean.
Yeah, but it's just the people there are
You
so
surf?
wonderful. I'm not the most like my limbs. I feel like the balance isn't there. But Tamarindo like tried a few times.
Yeah.
And the local people are so nice. Like the monkeys are so fun.
It's great.
It's just like such a wonderful place to
I
be.
couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I've been to several times.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you've traveled like all around what are your favorite places you've traveled to?
I have. Well, when I was in college, an older guy was like, "Hey," and I knew this because my dad wanted me to do it. Like, while your parents are like basically paying for everything, go spend a semester somewhere. And I had already spent a summer in Innsbruck, Austria. There was this program, 200 of us from major universities around the South. Typically, they put us over in Innsbruck, and you do it a class 4 days a week, and then you go on a long weekend. You take a train to Vienna or Amsterdam or Munich and Rome, and I mean, it was so fun. I mean, Prague. Boy, we had fun there.
I've heard a lot of good things about Prague.
Yeah, it's kind of and we can talk about that. But yeah, so I did the research and I found a thing in Buenos Aires, Argentina, through NYU at the time, and I didn't know anybody, but I knew that was kind of a cool offbeat thing to do, and my dad was like, "You should do that." So I applied and got in. They never saw me coming, I'll tell you that much. They're like, "Oh, look at this nice Southern boy," and by like the third week, they're like, "He's crazy.
Get him out of here."
No, I found my people.
Yeah, you charmed your way in?
Yeah.
Charm, Southern charm.
Okay, so
But favorite places?
Yes.
How about Alaska? You said you did that.
I
trip
love
with
Alaska,
your family.
but I wouldn't go visit.
Yeah.
But like, if you really want to have an amazing all-around experience, go to Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay.
It is the coolest city out there. One of Sydney's great too. But Cape Town, by the way, Cape Town, everything is super inexpensive. You can get a 5-star hotel for, $180 a night.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a sprawling property, and it's just, you feel like you're back in time 100 years without the nasty part of South Africa.
Yeah.
But no, there's also a little danger there, but not in Cape Town. I wouldn't go to Johannesburg. At least that's what I've been told. I haven't been. That's a great place. Hong Kong is fantastic. I'm dying to go to Japan. I'm going to Sydney with Craig and a bunch of other Bravo people in 2 weeks.
Oh, fun.
For the Bravo Fan Fest in Sydney.
in Sydney?
Yeah.
How funny.
I know.
Would you imagine that it would go that global? Like, that's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, it's wild. And so what I'm going to do is stay there for that. And then my friend from Melbourne's going to come up, and we're going to fly to the other side of the country to this weird northern western territory where you rent like a car and you like go fishing and surfing and go to these different villages and meet all sorts of interesting, bizarre people. I can't wait. It's
Just
right
off the grid.
Uh-huh.
That's
Off the
nice.
grid.
All right, so we have some like rapid fire type questions. You guys have any more?
Wait, I have one question. Because I feel like this is a controversial topic, but I feel like you probably have strong feelings about this before we get into the rapid fire.
Yeah.
Is men with flip-flops.
Yeah, my Hari Marizak.
Yeah, so you have a collab,
Yeah.
flip-flop collab. You love a flip-flop.
Yes.
I recently saw a video online that was talking about the etiquette, though. Like, what do you believe is the etiquette in order for a man to wear a flip-flop? Because a lot of women do not like it.
I heard this, and one girl especially was like, "If you wear pants and flip flops, God damn you!" I was like, "What?"
She's like, you're like, this is about me.
Southern boys, it's different. Like being in Florida, I see a lot of flip flops, but like up here,
My husband doesn't own a pair of flip-flops.
Yeah.
Like most of my family in New
It's
England,
a good gift.
I'll get them some.
Because
we have a discount code?
3
Yeah,
months out of the
you get a
year
code?
tops, and you can actually wear them.
But so what's the etiquette? Are you getting a pedicure? Or do you soak your feet? What are you doing?
No, I'm pretty lucky. I've got pretty good feet for a guy.
Yeah.
I'm lazy. I don't want to tie shoes. I don't even want to bend down and put on
Well,
shoes.
you're pretty tall, so it's like an undertaking
It's
to get down all the
easy.
yeah.
It's grab and go. I'm fat. I'm ADHD.
Yeah.
Like I have friends that I travel with or that I have in the past, like great friends, and they're methodical. And, where's my wallet, my keys? Meanwhile, you're in the lobby, like this guy 10 minutes ago when we were walking out of the door, but that's not me.
No.
Well, the fishing and boating of it all, I feel like you grew up.
Oh, yes,
Like,
of course.
I feel like the flip-flops. Like,
Near
that's
the
not part of
ocean
it.
is a probably more sensible part of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't want to take it super deep after flip-flops, but I did want to ask
there.
him from the book you had referenced. I forget if it was a quote that you said or they had told you at Rhythmia, but how going, I don't know if it's this entire trip or one time with ayahuasca was like 5 years of therapy.
10 years.
10
5
years.
to 10 years of therapy. It can be.
Can be.
Yeah.
So do you feel like after going through it, that felt true for you? And have you been to
I don't know
therapy?
enough about therapy,
Okay.
honestly. I had a therapist and I went like at 5 times and I
Okay.
liked it.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and like sort of over. I really I'm going to go back into it because I think it's super helpful.
Well, I feel like taking all your findings too from Rhythmia and talking that through with a therapist would be
And, I even like told my like family, male family members, in-law or whatever, and brother, I told them about it. This was COVID and they were like, I want that. Like everybody kind of needs something,
Yeah.
to internalize it. In Ireland, they're like, why do you need a therapist? You go to the pub.
but I'm going to a therapist because I go to the pub.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So.
Spot on. Right.
It's all cyclical.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good, because I guess it's all, do you feel like as time going on, like you're going back to Rhythmia because you need like a tune-up, so to speak, or does it still feel like the lessons are right there?
No, I mean, yes, they're right there. And I think the biggest change that I underwent was a sensitivity about my actions and their effects on other people and myself. And I just was more aggrieved by missteps than I ever was before, because I really didn't give a shit about for a long time, unless it was something, that I really regret. But like, if you were like, man, you were on one last time, like, fuck you. Like, so what?
Well, you
But
showed
now
up
I'm
2
like,
minutes late today and you're like, I'm so sorry. We're like,
yes,
you're good.
That's part of it.
You're good.
That's part of it. I'm like, oh no, like, so I'm just more, I don't know. Again, like, if I have a bad month, maybe a couple bad instances in a short period of time, I get really alarmed and I really snap back into reality. So there's just all these things that I need to work on and continue to work on because it never ends.
I will say your presence is like very calming. Like you don't have like a chaotic presence. Like you seem very chill, very like
I appreciate
comfortable with yourself, relaxed. Like have you always felt that way, or is that like a more recent thing?
Yeah, like I'm not thinking about much of all, like let's say 5 years ago, I'd be like, all right, fish is tonight, and then tomorrow night there's another fish show, and then I got to do this. Now I'm just like, just relax, like go home, watch TV. Like that's my new thing. Like try to be, don't stay out much later than like 10, 11, you know what I mean? And that'll do you well in this life, especially at my age. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But if there's like if I get a head of steam and I'm with the right
people,
right/wrong people,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm the wrong person in that situation. I'm certainly not helping drawing the reins back, but just need to be careful, and that's good that I'm thinking that way, I feel like.
Yeah, you built that awareness. And I forget where you were in the book where you talked about that karaoke night, like after, where you talked about your personality, and maybe it was partly like your identity, where you felt like you were the party boy before and that's who you were. But you talk about how you were like the MC in that hotel lobby, and like you can channel that positive, fun energy, but not wake up with regrets.
Correct.
And finding a balance.
Yeah. So it's all about like, who are you at your core? Like, and you're probably not going to change that very much. I mean, even, and you shouldn't. I mean, it's not like I've harmed people in the past. Like I really need to totally rewire. It's just fine tune, course correct, as I say in the book. Yeah.
So anything else? We'll start some rapid fire,
You're good.
mostly fun questions.
That's fine.
Mostly fun.
First one's really fun. So as we said, Paige has never done drugs. If she's going to do one drug, what do you think she should do?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Oh.
Why mushrooms?
Yeah.
Microdose or like truly?
Truly. But I mean, you can. That's the whole thing with microdose. Like, hey, 2 is really chill. 3, start to
Fun.
dance around a little bit. Not dance, but your brain starts.
I will say that is everywhere now that I know about.
It's like the new
I'm
weed.
not being offered. I'm not. Nobody's offering
No,
it, but I
because
know
like
it's around.
weed is fine, and I don't really smoke it much anymore. It's not. I'll start eating gummy bears and all this stuff, and then So I don't just do it, but like there's something about mushrooms that can really be revelatory, even in small doses.
Okay.
And it changes your sort of state of mind. And it could be, I mean, there's a lot of work with mushrooms, like in clinical ways.
That's what I was going to say. Do you
It
feel
was
like
like
there's
a 60
ties to
minutes. There was
ayahuasca?
a-
How
Yeah.
you felt after?
And ayahuasca's right there with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I loved how you talked about that in the book. You're like, it's not a thing here because how are you going to monetize it? Like
And big pharma, and
Yeah.
all that.
we talk about that. I feel like online when it comes to like motherhood and weed, and it's like they don't do any tests with weed, obviously, because if weed becomes a big business medicinally, then what's going to happen to all the pain relievers? And it was just a very
What do y'all think about this?
What?
A friend, I certainly am not going to get specific. Like, she found the mom found their 14-year-old boys had like pornography, like
Okay.
and like magazine,
Yeah.
like or whatever. And she's fun, she's cool, and she got all puritanical about it and sent him to like Young Life for like a
wilderness
week or
camp.
something like that.
I was explaining this to my husband. So funny you said that. Literally last night, I was telling him about these Young Life camps where, like, in the middle of the night, they'll kidnap them and bring them to the wilderness.
So
and he like
scary.
didn't believe me, and I was like, "No, it's a thing."
I don't
Some
know if
people
it was a
do.
kidnap situation. but-
There
what the
used to
rumors
be.
are.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean, hey, there's probably some great things Young Life does, and it's like faith and based, but like there's some part of it that can be transformative in kind of a sketchy way. I know someone whose relative went as a young age, and came back like, like a evangelical full on.
Wow.
They were like, what? What?
Well, I feel like at the root of that too, it's like just being able to have a conversation with that
I was
kid,
gonna say,
like,
yeah.
because you don't want to create shame. Like, why do you want to look at this? What do you like
I'll
about
tell you
this?
why.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
what I
kidding
mean.
me? My mom never actually laid her hands on the Victoria's Secret catalog
Yeah.
in 10 years or
Went
5
right to your
years.
room.
Yeah,
But that's what I mean. Like, is that surprising to a mother?
it shouldn't be.
I mean, I'm already thinking about this. My son's, he's getting older, but like I think about how we're going to have those conversations.
I'm gonna
because
be an embarrassingly sex positive mom. We're at the dinner table. We're like, this is sex. This is consent.
Yeah, this is normal.
everything.
This is
Because-
normal to feel this way.
Yeah.
Really?
Want to
Good
have
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the shame.
So that's how we feel.
Now I'm giving you rapid fire.
Yeah,
No,
we'll take them. You can give them back.
Yeah.
Mom's a rapid fire.
Okay, so we like to say that cringe is growth. Can you name like your most cringy moment from Southern Charm that you look back on and you're like, I can't believe I did that?
Yeah. Oh God, there's so many, but it was, I always go back to the egg toss with my ex Taylor when she stumped on the egg. I was like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And I was drunk, and by the way, we were playing Beer Olympics, which don't get me started. I was like, oh yeah, I do this all the time with my friends. Yeah. But that's not my excuse, but it was, and I was just super embarrassed. I didn't even watch that season because we were kind of like on the brink
Yeah.
that whole season, and I was, not okay with it all, but you live to fight another day.
So you don't have to watch the season before the reunion?
No.
Does Andy get
I
mad
would
if you don't?
advise to. I
Yeah.
would advise
So you know what's coming
to.
your way.
Yeah.
What we do is there's like a group chat. Maybe not everybody, but it depends. And it's when we get the episode about a week before, it's like, hey, did you see it? Like, and they're like, you're good.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Or like, you might want to sit this one out. You know.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like recently, like, that's not really happening with you.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
This season, what we just filmed, maybe there will be a couple times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll give you grace.
We'll tune in.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll be fighting the online warriors for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jugs.
You're welcome.
Jug's got your back.
Okay. Who was your favorite housewife?
This is tough.
Past or present?
Any.
Teddy, my childhood friend.
Oh yeah, I was reading that. How
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Who would
Love
think
Teddy.
that two Hilton Head people would end up in the Bravo?
Amazing.
Like,
I mean,
how
she'd be
random.
more likely a candidate being whoever her father is.
Yeah, I do have to say I'm actually from the same hometown as Craig Conover. So
Oh,
that's
yeah?
probably more unlikely that
Yes,
two people
it
from
is.
Southern Delaware are in the
Wow.
media somehow.
We went and visited their season 2. It was
I know.
awesome.
I know,
Beautiful.
and he brought Paige back a few years ago, and I was
Sure
laughing at the
did.
thought of Paige being in Southern Delaware. Just so, if you had to be on a deserted island with Craig or Austin, who would you choose?
Austin, we just laugh more. I mean,
Yeah.
I laugh with Craig too,
Yeah,
but I think Craig and I drive each other nuts.
And if you're on an island.
Yeah. But Craig's also resourceful, and
he can make you pillows.
yeah.
Cross-stitched pillows.
You really need a pillow on an
I
island.
think it's whoever it was, we would all die very quickly. Yeah, like, we're not going to start, growing any potatoes or anything
Catch some fish.
What's your favorite movie?
ever.
Yeah, you can do like two
Comedy
or
or
three.
drama?
You do like 2 or 3 because I feel like that's tough,
The
right?
first things that pop up for you.
Yeah.
L.A. Confidential, The Usual Suspects, Rushmore, North by Northwest.
I don't know half of these.
Yeah,
Yeah, what are these? What is
Bottle
Northwest?
Rocket.
We need to add these to our jug list. Of
yeah,
we
what?
talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only know that I know
These are movies?
Yeah,
Okay.
what
can write 'em down
What's
for us.
Northwest?
that's a Hitchcock movie with Cary
Oh.
Grant.
So it's old.
Yeah, I love it.
That's an old soul thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
an
think
old
that's-
soul.
There's some
New age
great
souls aren't watching
movies from
Hitchcock.
the 70s.
Are there?
Is there one
from
from recent history you
Yeah.
Yeah.
recommend?
recent? Oh, I really liked Project Hail Mary.
Oh, we were just talking about
Just
that.
talking.
Good. And I'm
Okay.
going to see Prometheus. I'm going to see
The Odyssey. The
I
Odyssey.
think tomorrow. That's the plan.
Are you going in IMAX?
I have to.
Are you going
right?
by yourself?
I have a friend who wants to go.
I was gonna say maybe we'll come.
Text me. Nobody will see it with
We've
me.
talked about
Oh,
it on the
really?
pod about we haven't
and-
seen it yet.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's not like
It's too
Well,
long.
I heard people are like scalping tickets to IMAX Odyssey.
Because you can't get.
I
in.
heard there's like a $400 to get in or
Well, 'cause
something
I
like
told
that.
you, there's only 40 theaters in the world that have like the actual
So the
original
New York
IMAX film,
is
so it's like
probably
hard to get into.
Okay, well, I'm not
Oh.
paying $400 to see a movie.
Yeah, I'm
Katie
trying to
might.
get people
Katie
to see
might.
Nobody will go with me.
Why?
Nobody wants to see a 3-hour. I don't. I guess
would
it's
go
not
with
like
you.
the millennial mom vibe to go see the Odyssey.
You got to. My sister and brother-in-law and their kids went. They loved it.
Yeah, well, people are upset online too because they're like, "You're giving away spoilers," and it's like the Odyssey, like 3,000-year-old
stop it.
story. How
Correct.
can there be a spoiler?
Oh, that Odyssey.
Ah.
Okay, and the last question we can't ask: are you and Taylor together? But we'll wait till season 12. I was hoping to do it rapid fire to see if there'd be like a slip up there. Honestly,
no,
but-
Katie was trying to get
let's
you.
keep a little mystery.
I know,
Trying to get
appreciate
you.
that.
Little
It's
mystery.
staying true.
We texted today a couple of times. Let's put it that way.
I love the way you spoke about her mom. It's so
Huh?
sweet. I love the way you speak about her family.
Oh my gosh.
Mom,
Yeah.
brother.
You don't understand. I mean, we weren't together. We were probably 5 months broken up, and she. And this is very serious. One of the most serious things I've ever dealt with, and saddest things. And I was playing golf, and she said, she's like, Worth is gone, and I was like, oh, what? And then I was like, gone where? She's like, he's gone. And I was like, I like collapsed. Just like sat down against the wall and was like, no. And I called her and she was hysterical. And she was like, we're going to Raleigh where he lived. They found him. And I was like, what do you need from me? She's like, it would mean a lot if you were there.
Yeah.
And we weren't together, And in fact, like, I'm not even sure how, I think we were good for a while. It's been a really bizarre
Mhm.
post-breakup relationship, and I always wanted it to be, I'm such a dummy. I'm such a guy like, oh, well, no big deal.
Right.
We
Yeah,
dated,
okay.
no, we're not, and it just means a lot more, or at least the emotionally means a lot more. It meant a lot to me too, and it still does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I drove to Raleigh and met them, and then her parents came through, and just sobbing, like heartbroken shit.
No
like
parent.
devastating, life-changing shit. And so that means something to me. And I'll never, that's a bond, unfortunately, one of the worst kind of bonds you can have, but it's still a bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like the way you spoke about your friends losing their siblings to cancer and
Yeah.
all of that, like
Yeah.
very vulnerable, and it seems like you really do have a big heart. You're very good at being like empathetic and.
Well, I'm so lucky.
Mhm.
I mean, that's my gratitude is off the charts. And, the guy who was, a couple different things, but the guy who runs Rhythmia was like, Shep, you've been given so much, and that's great. And you shouldn't feel, any other way about it other than don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Don't, stay alive, basically, because you don't fucking know. He's like, I have lots of friends who were awesome, and, they just kept hard charging, and now they're not with us, and, way too early, and I was like, fuck, yeah. I mean, all these things affect so many other people. Your actions affect so many other people. So it's not terrifying, but it's weighty feeling, and I don't take it lightly. I'm trying not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next, so do you see yourself getting married and having kids?
You talked about that in the book.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you have any questions? We have, how many kids do we have?
Collectively.
Yep.
We have 9?
collectively, 3, 4, 2.
Oh, wow.
9?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think,
He's like, no, I don't have
Do you want to
questions.
interview us now?
He's like, actually, I don't want to know.
well, it's funny. I walked into my
You have nieces and nephews,
sister's.
though, right?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
4 nieces and a nephew.
That's awesome.
And I understand, like, there's probably, and you correct me, please.
Yeah.
80% of it is a slog. Like, is that being generous?
Maybe.
Especially when they're,
When
what's
they're
your
little.
favorite age for them?
Mine are young, 2 and 4.
Okay.
I have a 5-month-old, and then I've up to a 4-year-old.
Okay.
I have the oldest. I will say, I think 8 and 9 is really fun.
That's what I'm interested in. Like,
Yeah.
really
You can play
young.
catch
I'm like,
with
oh, what the
them.
hell?
It's tough.
It's just
They don't
like
give
this-
you much.
It's like an
Yeah.
appendage that you can't.
It is. You're
They
like,
shit on you.
use.
yeah, please
Yeah.
don't die. That's all it is every day. It's like, you're just like,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
please
Survive.
They scream at you. Yeah.
No, at 8 and 9, they're funny. They're smart.
Yeah.
There's things they're interested in. They
Yeah.
come home and they teach me things. They're like, I learned this today. And I'm like, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And we get to talk about it. I think, it's a really, as they become people, it gets really, really
Yeah.
cool. I wouldn't say it's like my,
What age is that? Like 5? Like,
Yeah,
you're-
even at
you're-
4
they start
now,
to
they
turn the
start-
corner,
yeah,
and you're like,
really
"Oh,
fun. Yeah,
did
they're
they just say a joke? Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
my son
Yeah.
came home and told me his first joke the other day. And I was like, this is a fun scene.
Yeah.
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 They make you laugh.
But for every joke, there's
yeah.
They learn, like,
90. Like,
ruined
what the
my
hell
day.
is going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mentally unwell, but it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I walked into my sister's 3 days ago, and she and her 2 youngest were all sick. They're like, we're sick. I was sitting there lying around on the couch. I was like, oh, that doesn't look like very much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the
That
thing.
is the worst part of parenting.
Yeah.
But,
Just the sickness.
yeah, I also think that there's a part of that life that really keeps you out of trouble, and it focuses your energy on something that, yes, might be frustrating, but ultimately so rewarding, even if it's 20%. And
Yeah.
I've got all this energy and hyperactivity, and I would like to channel it in something really meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raising kind humans.
I would say, and that 20%, I will say, when you step out of parenthood for like a minute, I would say everything feels so much like richer and brighter, and because you're not there all the time, right? Like, you're in your daily life in the slog, you're making lunches and laundry, but then when we come to New York, we're like, oh, the world, this is amazing. Like, food is delicious. It makes you appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who we go out to lunch, and he has 2 young kids. I love he and his wife, and we'd have a big lunch with wine, and he's like, I gotta go. And I was like, where am I gonna go? You know? Can I borrow somebody's wife and kid? No. I like that sort of self-policing, at least if you're going to be a good father, you know, like, get your ass home.
Yeah.
But it is nice that you're already kind of completing this like karmic circle before having kids, because the last thing you would want to do is like sort this shit out
When you
while
have kids.
young
Yeah.
See, that's a part of my anxiety currently, is like, far be it from me to tell anyone else how to live.
Well, that's how we all feel.
Yeah.
We're all every time I drive like a Yukon XL, and every time I get in it, I'm like, I feel like I'm playing house right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
like
These are mine.
yeah.
The first time I went to Target with my girls, I was just like, is someone going to arrest me? Like, I can't have 2 kids.
Yeah.
You feel like a teen mom.
Yeah.
Like, no
You just
matter
realize
what.
that parents never knew what they were doing. They were just playing it by ear.
Yeah.
And you just try the best you can. Sometimes
Yeah.
at night you're like, wow, we fucked that up. But like,
Yeah.
we'll try to course
fact
correct.
that-
Hopefully
raising
your
kind
kids
humans.
aren't at the same Rhythmia ayahuasca place guys, you guys are great. And here's why.
Mhm.
There's some really terrible parents out there in the history of parenting. I mean, there's a lot of people that should not have kids.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, whether it's anger problems or, you know, abusive, it comes in many ways. And so there's so much pain out there because of poor parenting.
Yep.
And so I'm sure you guys are killing it.
Gosh.
We're trying our best.
Yeah.
You know?
Our parenting goal from here on out will be that our kids don't need to go to do that. We're like,
At least it's not our
because
fault.
of us. At
Yeah.
least because
Yo,
of us.
you might go with them.
I know.
Yeah.
Who knows
You
how
said that.
mainstream it'll be in
Yeah.
20 so years.
Well, I feel like our generation of parenting looks at it differently. It's like, we know we're going to fuck up our kids, but we want to be there to be like, tell us what we did wrong.
Yeah.
How can we
Let's go to
improve?
Interactive parenthood.
Right? Yeah.
There was a mom and a son there, and I got to know them super nice. And we went on an excursion one day to where anyway, it's not important. And she had like a mini breakdown. His son was like 16, maybe 17. And she was like, got claustrophobic, and you could tell like she was sensitive and sort of overwrought. And you could tell he didn't know how to handle that. I was like, boy, you know, like even something little like that can really affect you as you get older.
Yeah.
Totally.
Was
And
he doing ayahuasca too?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember they were. Yeah, I remember this was in the
Yeah.
book. Yeah, that was so interesting to me. The mother-son dynamic on the trip.
I
Yeah,
don't know why. I
Yeah.
did that part.
And, you know, we're so lucky to have the parents we have, I think, you know. And so we're all doing our best, I'm sure.
well, I love it.
Yeah, well, Shep, thank you so much. This was so enjoyable. I think it loved kind of dissecting the different layers of you. We thought the book was so entertaining. And
Oh, thanks for reading it or listening to it. Sorry, they cheated.
Do you think listening is reading?
Yes, and here's why.
Okay.
I listened to all 3 of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoos on like several road trips,
Yeah.
and I loved it.
Once you unlock an audiobook, it is a game changer.
Well, and especially in that, because there's like all these Norwegian names, and
Yeah.
you're like, ooh, I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, it is funny when you read a book
Jorgensen?
We read a lot of like romantasy is like a
Okay.
big genre.
The
right
Akatar
now.
books. You should read the Akatar book.
Yeah, have you heard of
I-
Akatar?
All the names.
I will not.
You don't want dragon smut.
But if you try to pronounce the names yourself, you're gonna get it wrong. So when you listen to the audiobook, you're
that's how
I'm
you
supposed
feel
to
dumb.
say it. You feel really
dumb.
stupid after.
The first thing my mom had a terrible time getting me to sit down and read summer reading, especially early on in life, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. It's the last thing I wanted to do. And what she got me into reading was the Calvin and Hobbes comic strip.
Yeah.
I was Calvin, without a doubt. And that's what she saw in me. And so, but I loved it. First of all, it's really good writing. Bill Watterson, like he makes all these references to philosophy and all this stuff, and it's funny and it's touching too. So I had like every comic you could find, and that's really the only one. But that got me into reading, and so it's funny how little things like that can work.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I think you're going to be a really cool dad one day. I feel like you have you'll be
so,
fun. You'll be like teaching them a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
Like,
outdoor.
I think it's like the timing has worked out how
I
it's
would love
supposed
it. As long as hopefully I don't physically break down.
You will. You will.
We all
It's happening already. It's happening already. I need glasses to read my phone and all this stuff.
Oh, you got the big text. The big text.
Yeah, I need to do that. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, we'll teach you. I can get you. I'll hook you up. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shep. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Pleasure being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Just Us Girls podcast. We are so grateful that you chose to spend time with us today. If you love this episode, be sure to follow, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to rate and review as well. We would appreciate it so, so much. Come hang out with us on Instagram at the Just Us Girls Pod. And you can also find us on Substack at thejustusgirlspod.substack.com, where we share even more from each episode, a little behind the scenes and all the good stuff you don't want to miss. We can't wait to chat with you next week. Bye.